Hi, my name is Stephanie, and my partner is Ugo. We will be presenting blood cells review of blood cells. Do you know what's in your blood? Let's find out. This is a blood smear on our right. We'll be explaining different types of blood and their functions. Our poetry was supposed to be our medium, but we decided to change it to a video. Ugo will be going over eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils, monocytes, T lymphocytes, B lymphocytes, NK cells, and I will be going over red blood cells and their formation and where they are in our bone marrow, spleen, and as well as our platelets and how they work. Red blood cells. At 1000 magnification, we can see the proteins in the macromolecules as well as ions floating around in the liquid, which are all very important components for our body's homeostasis. Blood is formed in our bone marrow. Stem cells are also formed there. They are called hemocytoblasts. Red blood cells are an important part to our blood as they carry oxygen to our blood tissues. They pick up oxygen in our lungs and then they carry it throughout our body, secreting carbon dioxide as the waste product of cellular respiration, being expelled through our lungs. This is blood zoomed in. Types of blood are A, B, and O positive and O negative, which they have different antigens, things like that. These are different types of blood stem cells, myeloid stem cells and lymphoid stem cells. Proteins in the plasma are albumin, globulin, fibrogen. Red blood cells are referred to as erythrocytes, as white blood cells are referred to leukocytes. Having a short lifespan of 120 days, they do not have a nucleus, so that's why they live for so little. Here are more blood cells. As we can see, they're granulated. Under the microscope, we can also see neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils. Neutrophils eat up foreign substances and secrete lysosomes to kill any foreign bacteria that enters our body. Eosinophils help fight by producing histamine and enzymes that fight allergens, such as parasites. Basophils help fight off allergic reactions, secreting hyperion, histamines, and serotonin. Macrophages phagocytize bacteria and dead cells when they enter our tissue, as we call them macrophages. These are our white blood cells, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, monocytes, lymphocytes, and macrophage. Blood platelets are a critical, diverse psychological process such as hemostasis, angiogenesis, and innate immunity. Every day, 100 billion platelets are produced by MKs in the bone marrow and are destroyed by phagocytic cells of the reticuloendothelial system. Defects in either process can lead to thrombocytopenia, which is low blood count, and thrombocytosis, which is high blood count. While high blood count is a risk factor for various clinical complications such as cancers and thrombocytopenia, causing bleeding complications. And these are our white blood cells, and Hugo will take over from here.
Hi, my name is Ugo Iguatu, and I'm going to be presenting to you today the white blood cells and easy ways to remember them. For the myeloid stem cell, there are two types of categories of stem cells when it comes to white blood cells. You have the myeloid stem cells and the lymphoid stem cells. The myeloid stem cells consist of the eosinophil, basophil, and neutrophil, and these are granular leukocytes. Granular means they have those dots that you see in their cells. And then the only myeloid stem cell that is agranular is the monocyte. This does not have any granules. Then you have the lymphoid stem cells, which consist of the T lymphocytes, which are the T cells, B lymphocytes, which are the B cells, and natural killer cytes. All of these are agranular leukocytes. So the easy way to remember them that I'm going to present to you is you want to remember lymphoid stem cells are like the CIA of the human body, and the myeloid stem cells are like the military of the human body. So eosinophil, when you look at the word eosinophil, you see the word easy. When you see the word easy, you want to think of how it eosinophils eases the troubles of an allergic reaction by its function. It maintains homeostasis and hosts defense against infections, effective infectious agents. And then it helps immune activities by transporting what needs to be transported. A factor in the military that does this is the Army and the Marines. The Army and the Marines, they maintain peace in places like Iraq and all these other places that are having wars. Basophil, as we said before, is granular. So basophil, when you look at the word basophil, you see the word basics, right? So the basics of the human body is inflammation and clearing of blood vessels. Um, Basophils contain a heparin, a natural occurring blood thinning substance. It releases histamine. The histamine enlarges your blood vessels to improve blood flow and heal the infected area. Right. Another factor in something in the military that does this is the basic underwater demolition, also known as Navy SEALs. In the 1950s, the Navy SEALs cleared mines to make way for ships during the blockade of Wonsan. By the same way, by the same way basophils operate, releasing operators, which is the heparin, right, into the aqueous solution, which is the blood, and the other extent, the soldiers were released into the water to make way for ships to heal the land, right? It's kind of corny, but this is what I used to get an A in anatomy and physiology. So neutrophil, when you see the word neutrophil, you see neutralize, right? So neutrophil is the best the white blood cell at responding quickly to bacteria to phagocytize them, which is like to eat them up like a trash can, to basically neutralize them. No one neutralizes bacteria better than the United States Special Forces. Bacteria terrorists. So, as we said before, monocytes are agranular. Um, there's monocytes also work in phagocytosis, right? Okay, so lymphoid stem cells are the type of white blood cells that fight infections and destroy abnormal cells. So just like in real life, the military deals with what they can deal with, and the CIA deals with the big things. So that's why I would consider lymphoid stem cells the CIA of the human body. So, so when you see the word T lymphocytes, T cells, I think of trust. So T lymphocyte needs clarification before it attacks a virus. So B cell works as an antigen presenting cell to present to the T lymphocyte in order for it to take out its target. I think of T cells as air support reconnaissance arm of the CIA, which also aids the military. It T cells protect people from getting infected by destroying cancerous and infected cells, just like air support protects its assets from bigger elements that it can't usually handle. Yeah. So usually like B cells, they will actually B cells have permission to actually go and attack it on their own. T cells is like a air support airstrike. You set troops on the ground, which are the B cells, have to tell the T cells what's going on in order for them to strike whatever they're striking. They can't just go and like kill whatever. Because if they're to do that, that's what causes cancerous cells not to be able to be destroyed. So B cells are like the special activities division of the CIA. They produce antibodies to fight infection, soldiers. They also serve as an antigen presenting cell, just like the Special Activities Division SAD of the CIA. They fight infections and they antigen present the intel of the enemy to the T cell, which are the antigens. They present it to the T cell so that the T cell can strike accordingly without accurately without harming other important structures. Like now, if airstrikes were to just be if the planes didn't know what they were hitting, they would just be bombing people left and right, and they wouldn't know what they're doing. So the B lymphocyte serves that purpose. So the natural killer cells is they're also agranular. The term natural killer suggests that these cells can kill targets without pre-stimulation. They're like, I would consider them like the secret agents of the human body. They're like the James Bond with 007 status of the immune system. They can kill whatever, whenever they want, with the right set of morals instilled in them. They're programmed by the body so they would know what and what not to kill. It's like a secret agent.